Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here going to be showcasing my current build, which is the Lightning Strike Raider. This build has been really cool. I've really been enjoying it, and it's much tankier than my my previous build. I know a lot of people were complaining about my previous build and saying that it was a bit too squishy, and to be fair, it really was. But like the whole idea was to, play from far away. But now since we're kind of a melee-ish build, decided to go much tankier. And yeah, we're pretty, let's say pretty invincible. I'll tell you guys a little rundown of how we are so tanky afterwards. But yeah, let's just start off here with the expedition showcase. But yeah, we can pretty much face tank anything in the game, which feels pretty good. And yeah, I'm just rushing this expedition because it just takes too long otherwise. So yeah. We also have Fortify as well with Vigilant Strike, which is super nice. As you can see, yeah, we do take a hit here and there. Like, very rarely take a hit, but it's really not that bad. And we have more than enough time to react to anything that happens. And on top of that, we have so much life gain on hit with the claw that we're using. So overall, it feels kind of fine. Um, And yeah, so the map mods that actually feel like kind of bad for this build is less recovery rate, because that affects your like life gain on hit, and that doesn't feel so good. And no regen sucks because we run Blood Rage on left click, and that makes it so that when there's no monsters, you just start degenning a lot, and it's really not that fun on no regen. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend no regen either. But other than that, you can pretty much, apart from Ellie Reflect, run any map mod. Even Temp Chains is fine. You don't even feel it. You just go so fast anyway, which is really nice. The one thing the build struggles with a little bit is like close spaces like this. Because we don't have Chain, we just have Pierce. It doesn't really bounce or anything, so it's a bit weird sometimes. But I don't know. For the most part, it's really good. And yeah, let me show you guys the boss and the Conqueror. And I don't know, even putting all my damage down here. But yeah, I'll put it all down for the Conqueror here. So we put the Totem, Ellie Weakness, and we like to Vigilant Strike, and then we just go like this on the boss. And yeah, let's just dodge that. Ellie Weakness, and now you want to have like a tiny distance between you and the enemy. But yeah, once you have that, it's fine. And yeah, it's a pretty smooth build. I'm still working on a few things on this build. There's like quite a bit to upgrade. And yeah, let me just show you guys the gear and everything. So yeah, the Conqueror DPS is so much better on any other Conqueror because Drox just has that like kind of immunity phase. And what we do is usually, I forgot to do Val Lightning Strike as well. That ups the damage a lot. But I wanted to show you guys like a pure DPS without any Val Lightning Strike, because in my opinion, Val Lightning Strike is just overtuned and it just demolishes everything. But yeah, let's get into the gear. First off, the build actually isn't that expensive, which is super nice. And that's something that's really appealing. I'll tell you guys a quick rundown. So of course we're using Painseeker again. I don't know, these gloves have really grown me. And I use secrets as well, of course. Now, a lot of people actually don't run secrets and they run Herald of Ice, and they just go for the normal build. But I feel like secrets is too good, because you still get so many good things from it. The 20% less damage and the crit and the Scorch is just like, it's way too good. And yeah, I don't know. Not using secrets feels a little bit troll to me. And since Lightning Strike, we have the, like, we're pretty much scaling a ton of attack speed, so our hits are going to be very low. So that's why we use Painseeker here. And I would recommend using them as well. They're pretty damn good. Okay, so let's go for a quick gear rundown. I'm not going to go too in detail with everything because, you know, this is not really a build guide. It's just like a quick update and things that I'm planning to do for the future. But yeah, first of all, we got the claw. I spent a lot of currency making this, and I don't even know if it's really worth it at the end, but Anyway, what I did, I got a fractured claw, and ideally you want an imperial claw, but there was no fractured attack speed I-83 claws on imperial claws on the market, at least when I was trying to get one. So I just had to go for a Gemini. Now Gemini isn't really that good because it has a very high int requirement, which really sucks. And yeah, that's the problem with it mainly. It's got like 120 int requirement. And yeah, so we actually don't need mana leech anymore if we have this claw, which is the one good thing about it. So we ditch soul raker on the tree, so that makes this claw like so much better because it gives 2 points. But other than that, it's not ideal. As you can see, we have a horrible multi-roll. But I honestly, I just gave up because I did prefixes cannot be changed reforge crit like 5 times, and I know that's not enough times, but before that I was spamming essences for a long time, and I was running out of currency. So I just settled with this, and I can easily remake this whenever I want. Like I can just do prefixes cannot be changed and reforge crit until I get T1 multi. But you know, that's like an average I think of 15 or 10 to 15 reforges, which is too much right now because it's 2x every time you fail, and you can roll crit chance as well, so it's not too great. And yeah, that's the claw. It's overall really good, but yeah, you don't need to go this crazy on one. As long as you get like attack speed and the flat damage, you're gonna see on this build that we stack a ton of flat damage, and that's because that's how we scale our damage on this build, and we use Trinity as well. So that's how that works. Next off, we got the helmet. Now, this helmet's really nice. I got Blizzard Crown with Lightning Strike, so that's already like 5x for the base, just for the Blizzard Crown with Lightning Strike pierces 3 additional targets. And then I greed essence spammed until I hit something with a res, chaos res, which was really lucky, and then I got empty suffix, and then I also a Warlord Exalt slam the elemental damage, which was really nice. And you're probably thinking, why didn't you go for like, you know, a Shaper helmet with nearby enemies, take 6% elemental damage or whatever? And although that is probably better, or actually it's quite a lot better, I just didn't want to do that because yeah, you either have to awaken an orb or greed spam until you eventually hit nearby enemies, and then yeah, you might not get resistance stuff. So I really need resist on this build, and yeah, you can see we're running a taming as well, so a little bit of a struggle, but you know, you can definitely make up the resist somewhere else if you want to go for a more offensive helmet. Next off, we have a shield here. Now the main thing about this shield, it has 20% avoid ailment. Now this is insanely good because if you see on the tree here, we don't have to path to crystal skin to get ailment immunity. We just need to take LE focus, which gives you know, 10% avoid. Then we have some on the ascendancy, and then we have the rest on thick skin. And then the shield covers up for the last you know, 20-ish% that we have. So if we show you it here, we have full avoidance. If I take off the shield, we're missing 20%. Usually if you can't get that stat on the shield, you'd have to path to crystal skin, but that's way too many points that I'm happy to use, so I don't really like going that route. And even though crystal skin in general is pretty good, like it gives you max res and some LE res, I just feel like it's absolutely not worth it. So that's why I changed that. Okay, so a quick question you guys might ask is, you know, do you really need to use Pharaohs? And absolutely not. Pharaohs is like a really budget chess piece, and we honestly don't need it for this build at all. Like the power charges are useless, and we gain frenzy on hit. So I mean, they're not, our power charges aren't completely useless, but they're not great, because yeah, we basically have brittle after the first hit on an enemy, and the power charges only help with that first hit on the enemy. So yeah, it just makes clearing a bit better if you have some crit, but other than that, it's kind of useless. So yeah, the plan is to use some rare or lore weave or literally any chess piece you want. You can get really creative here and just use something else completely. And I'm definitely planning to change out Pharaohs in the near future because it's really not great. Like, it doesn't give that much life. Aspect of the cat's okay, but it's not that good, so we don't really care for it. And yeah, next off we have a amulet over here with flat damage, life, increased max life, and resists. We allocate Tribal Fury because we can't use gloves with strike skills because we're using Painseeker. So Tribal Fury gives us that additional enemy, and this is core for the build. If you don't have this, your clear will feel terrible, and I believe you need to be even closer to your enemy for single target too, but I don't think that might not be correct. But yeah, your clear will feel very, very bad without Tribal Fury. So unless you have the gloves with +2 strike range or +1 strike range. But I wanted to use Painseeker, so we have to use Tribal Fury here. And it sucks we lose the Anoint, but I think it's worth the trade-off. Next off, we have the ring over here. So as you can see, on as much gear as possible, we scale flat damage. It's very, very good for us. And yeah, it's just got, Dex, Int. We don't need the Dex, I don't believe, but we need the Int really badly. As you can see, 58 more Int required, which is, quite a lot. And then we have Taming. It's just, I know it gives so much resist and damage that I kind of want to use it. And as you can see, it has 20% increased damage with hits and elements per free shock or ignite. And even though we don't free shock or ignite, we do have skitterbots, so we do get some increased damage, I believe. Unless skitterbots don't work with Taming, but yeah, I don't really know. And then we have some Significe over here. It's got some life, increased max life, and weird. And the reason I just don't get any resist here because I wanted to leave this slot open for headhunter swapping if I ever want to do like Nemesis or something. This build can definitely do Nemesis farming. And if I want to switch in headhunter, I'll lose some life, but of course it's, Nemesis farming, it's really good. And then finally we have some double elevated boots. You obviously don't need double elevated boots. You can just use some normal ones. You will lose some quality of life, but it's probably worth it. So yeah, that is all the gear. I'm gonna leave my POB in the description for you guys to play around with or see what I'm doing entirely. I'll quickly skim over the tree, but that's it. Yeah, it's Thread of Hope is super nice. It's just very high value. We go take Wind Dancer, of course, and yeah, this is just the tree in general. And we got a Lethal Pride here. I don't even think we need the strength, or maybe we do. Yeah, so it helps a lot with strength. And yeah, it's pretty good. We got the double damage here. We got melee multi here, which is nice for one part of the lightning strike. Fizz taken as fire is huge. Increased strength, regen 1%. So yeah, super nice. Okay, so the reason we don't take claws on the magpie is because we just don't have the points for it. We really need to go up here. We really need the clusters. We got some just a cheap anger mochizai over here for 45 multi, which is super good. But yeah, the main idea of this build, you scale all elements and you just you apply a Trinity, and yeah, that's all you need to do. I'm not even running any Awaken gems right now. So as you can see, this just gives some mana leech that we don't even need. But yeah, it's super smooth, this build, guys. I highly recommend you play it and check it out. I may or may not make a build guide on this. I don't really know, because build guides are they're quite hard to make, guys. They take a lot of time and thought and everything like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more build updates and guides, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.